Ready to go live? Oh man, hang on. Doink. Where is? Hang on a minute. There we go. Now I got the camera cleaned off. Doink. Sorry for the impromptu stream. I just thought I would do it because it's fun, and a few of my friends I know are probably going to be staying up to do a bunch of stuff tonight. Also, someone is apparently enjoying the new radio. So yeah, hello. We're going to be doing some impromptu stuff for this stream. I mean, the whole stream itself is impromptu, but yeah. Yes, hello, Mr. Jacob. As for what we are going to be running, well, here's a clue. Yay! There it is. It's my N-scale Puffy. Fun story about this. This was given to me by a guy in the stockyards. It was actually given to my buddy Sam that he gave to me, and it was I think his name is Gerald or something like that. So if he somehow comes across this, hi. Thanks for the DCC 10-wheeler. Yes, there's a TR21 Texas Rail Fan 21. He's a really cool dude. Go subscribe to his channel and whatnot. And also Texas Trainmaster 2248 if he hasn't already changed his title again. Oh, and also, just in case anyone wanted to see, this is the other N-scale DCC engine. This is the 4th and Western diesel, but it looks a lot different from when I had it in the video that I filmed. In fact, let me just take it out right now. You see this? I don't know why the packaging is like this, but like this lid will like not stay on and it just comes off very easily like that. But this does not. This is stuck in here and I have to smack it to get out. And don't worry, I'm not like breaking the model by doing that. This thing is in a very nice package. It won't just blow up into 1,000 pieces. But this has been heavily weathered. In fact, let me see if I can. I don't know if that's going to work. Sorry if I just blinded everybody. But there you go. You can see it. It's got some weathering on the top of the roof and on the sides, and also the grates at the front. The screens, I should say. Those have been heavily weathered too, as well as the trucks on the wheels. Very nice. Though the one thing, I left this back door unpainted because I couldn't get to it properly without having to disassemble the whole model. And I did not want to completely ruin it by taking it apart completely. In fact, this was this one was the only one I didn't take anything off of to paint. Everything was on there. Hey, there's Texas Trainmaster 2248. Yeah, you can go and do that. Anyway, since we've got this one out, we can probably run this one first for a little bit. So main thing I'm wondering, how was everybody's Christmas? I mean, I know a lot of people were out doing stuff. I wasn't doing anything today. I just stayed at home like a normal human being. I didn't go out and do anything. So, yeah. But, also, this, if I can get him out, I just finished repainting this. This was one of the 060 models, if you've seen the latest video I uploaded. Here it is. It's just been repainted, and I swapped the chassis in it because the other one kept on fidgeting. This one, the wheels kind of space out a little bit after a while, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world with it. But I like how it came out. It's got blue, it's not, bleh. It's red with gold on it and all that. I thought it looked really neat. Heck, I even painted the little whistle that's on it. So it could go with my little green one that I got. This little dude. I've had this one for a lot longer. So there's this little dude. Here he is. And that one's got a painted whistle as well. You can kind of see it. Not very well, but it's on there. And then finally, I redid the Prairie, and it looks stellar. I only just painted some gold on it, and it looks nice as is. I'm not gonna actually repaint it completely because it's a UP engine, and I've got this little UP car to go with it. So it's got a painted whistle and the little bell and all that. It looks nice, very nice. There's the tender, didn't really do anything to it. And I'm just gonna put this down. And then I've got this big thing. This is a Lionel big rugged engine. Sorry, I've got the packaging for it up there on my wall because it's cool. But there's the package, or not the package, but there's the engine. It's a big Hudson. They made versions of these that have movable driving wheels, which is what I originally wanted to get. However, Sam did not go to the link that I provided him with to get this. He went to a different one because he found the original link and then he's like, oh, here's the other thing. And he found one for a little bit cheaper and he got me this one. And I was a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I don't care because I've got one of these and these are a lot of fun to screw around with and they fit in your pocket. And speaking of pockets, I unfortunately broke my favorite pocket watch. Not on purpose, it was a complete accident. I got smacked by a doorknob. Like I was walking and the way, because you've got a little pocket for your pocket watch on your jeans, which I'm never going to be using ever again because of what happened. And my pocket watch, it got busted because the door handle just came in and smashed the glass on it. Fortunately, I still do have this watch. This is the other one that I used before it. And I'm going to get the other one fixed. So there it is. This watch was given to me by a relative of mine, a distant relative. Her name's Vivian. She probably isn't going to be watching this, but she had like 7 kids or something like that. And when they got old enough to leave the house, she gave them all watches, and no one ever took the pocket watch. And then eventually, after like some 10 or 15 years, they all gave the watches back, and she had them in a box. And it was my mom, sister, and I. We were all staying at her house for Thanksgiving, and because my sister had to go and do something in what was it, Indianapolis, in Indiana. It was amazing. We went to a big sports stadium and everything, and she marched like she did marching band and stuff like that. But that's where she gave me this watch. It's made out of, I think I'm trying to think. I know this part. This is sterling silver on the front. This little plate with the elk on it. It's very nice. Albeit the way that this opens, because this is for anyone who doesn't know. There's 2 styles of pocket watches that you can get. There's the open face, which is what I was using beforehand, which is, as it says, there's no clasp on it or anything. It's the open face. And then there's the hunter's case, which is what this is, or this style, where it's got the thing that opens on the front of it, because railroad watches never had a clasp on them. And if you see any film where they have a clasp on it, that's fictional. That's not real. But this one still works. It works very well. I used it for most of the time I was in high school. Have you shown the models that my friend gave us? Yes, I have. I have done that. In case my friend Sam doesn't see it. There's Puffy. There's Puffy again. We're going to run her eventually. And if we're lucky, we might get to run this at the Plano Train Show. Very cool. It's still probably one of my best paint jobs I've ever done in scale. And funny enough, let me go grab this big behemoth. Here is the biggest model of Puffy ever made. And I say model, not replica, because there is a live Steam version of Puffy that someone made in like Oklahoma or something. And it looked really nasty and it never worked. But this is the big boy. And then we got, if I can grab it, we got the little boy. We got the little one. So there we go. Oh geez. Okay, there we go. See, look at that. We got both models. Very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah. Are we going to do the well, Well, you guys can basically just ask train related questions. How many? Wait, hang on. Let's see here. How many models do you have? In general, I have well over 100, something like that. And I know that for a fact. Even though I've downsized my collection, at the highest, I had like I think over 50 O scale trains, 10 HO scale engines, and like 2 N scale. This is at the height of when I had the most. Not what I currently have, but I had like at least somewhere in the hundreds, something like that. So, but right now I think I've only got about maybe 50, and about half of them aren't even mine. They're commission work that I'm doing. I still need to get payment for 2 of them to get done. But this big dude is going in a museum next year in 2020, which is not too long from here. If you guys are wondering what day, it's going to be sometime in March, very early March. Basically, here's the plan for this model, this G-scale version of Puffy. So one of my friends, that being the guy that's in the chat right now, he is a good friend of the Fort Worth Historical Society, or the Stockyards Museum, as he's saying. And basically, they have a section all about trains in the stockyards because the railroads would literally, like, the stockyards would not be there if it were not for the railroads. So, history's kind of intertwined that way. And every time I went, they just didn't have a lot of trains there. They had pictures and stuff, and they had like memorabilia like hats and pocket watches and stuff like that. But they did not have an actual model. The closest thing they had was this little miniature area of the stockyards that you could look at, and it was like HO scale, something like that. And I just went and I said, hey, do you guys want a G-scale version of Puffy? Because I've got this model and I don't want to keep it, and you guys can have it. And they just went absolutely nuts. And they were kind of like, oh yeah, send it to us immediately. But here's the problem. It was not ready when they wanted it. And what I came up with is during that time when hopefully, I cannot say this as a thing, so don't quote me on this, but Puffy could be returning in March. I say could be, I'm not saying will, because I have no clue. And the people that do know, don't tell me, because I am not liable to know that knowledge. But essentially the idea is when Puffy comes in, we're going to go on the train with this model and have it be delivered to the stockyards on the train. So Puffy will literally be the first and only train to deliver a model of itself to a museum, which I think is pretty cool. And it'll be signed in that day and everything, and it'll go in a big glass case and everything. It'll look really snazzy, and you can go and see it for yourself, which is pretty good. And yes, so there's that. You guys can keep answering or keep asking questions. I'm gonna go put this thing back because it is hard to hold it and do stuff at the same time. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, got that. Back. All right, let's see now. All right. Frisco 1522 asks, off topic, has anyone here watched The Green Mile? I've watched pieces of that film. So yeah. And let me get these off of here. I'm gonna put them over here. You guys can hear me just fine, right? Like, type in the comments if you could hear me correctly. Because I've got my Bluetooth headphones turned on right now, and that's what I think is using for a speaker. So I just want to make sure that I'm coming through and not sounding, like, crap like that. Oh yeah, let me put this back and all that. So I'm just gonna put all my stuff away for a second so I can get everything ready for running trains. Yeah, we're gonna run some trains, but It's not going to be like the way you guys think it's going to be. So, also, let's see. Do you have the Polar Express and HO scale? Says Sans. No, I do not. In fact, I've never actually owned a proper Polar Express set. The only set I ever had was when I was a very small kid, and it was the Brio battery powered one. And then I gave that away because it just was crumbling. It was falling apart. The plastic in it wasn't very good, and I had drawn on the cars, but I was with Sharpie or something stupid. I know that you can get that off with like a pink eraser head. Um, but yeah, but I've never owned a proper Polar Express set. I have wanted to for years, but I have never been able to get my hands on one for a decent price because it's always like $800 for like just the engine, the cars, and the track. And purchasing it secondhand, for some reason, the cars will fluctuate in price very sharply. Like one moment, it's like and these are just like, this is the semi-scale stuff. It'll be like $20 per car, which is good. And then it's like $90 per car. And then it's like 180 for the full set of just the three coaches. Like, seriously? Why would you want to pay that much for cheap passenger cars that, you know, they aren't even properly lit and all that? It's stupid in my opinion, but hey, my opinion does not matter. Anyway, let's also, before we start running the trains, I want to show off one last thing. And I know I've already made a video on this engine, but I wanted to make sure that everyone got to see it when it was done. Here is that little tank engine or the ON30 engine my buddy Sam wanted me to do for him. So you can see there it says Metzger Lumber Company. And let me turn it around. There it says it again. And it's got a crew cab figure. There he is. You know, he's pulling on the whistle and he's got his hand on the little reverser. And it says number 3 on each side, as you can see. Because that's what the engine's programmed to. He wanted it to say something like 1 or 5 or something like that. And I'm just like, hey, if you want to go get it reprogrammed, fine. He's like, yeah, nah. So just had it put that. And no, I cannot put a bell cord on it. I don't have a thin enough wire gauge. He commented down there asking if I could put one on. I can't. I don't have a thin enough wire to do that at the time. But yeah, and everything. It's a very nice engine. I personally wanted to weather it because these look amazing when they are weathered. Also, for anyone wondering how to change the stacks out on this train, you can just pull the tops of them off, and there's a little screw head in there. And you just unscrew it and then put a new one on. You get like 3 different stacks. You get like a shotgun stack, this big diamond type stack, and then you get a little oil burning stack, which is like a mini version of this. But yeah, these little ON30 engines are amazing. And the Porter especially is like the most modded one, I think. Let's see, Green Engine Lover. Hi, back. Thanks for coming and being on stream. Great. Anyway, I'm going to get all the trains lined up for running, so this will take just a minute to do. I'm just going to put all the little switchers right over here. And I might do if I get a third one, or if I get a fourth one, I should say, because I've already got 3 of these little guys. If I get a fourth one, I'll make that one blue, because, you know, it'll be cool. Oh dear. There we go. If you're wondering what that is, that's just my case for my tools, everything. So got that, and I'll just unbox Puffy for the time being, because I think let's run Puffy first. That's what everyone comes here to say. They're like, oh, you got a model of Puffy. I haven't made one. I haven't seen anybody else make one. I don't get why nobody else has bothered to make the Grapevine Vintage Railroad equipment, because in my quest for knowledge about the railroad, it is the 5th most photographed railroad in the U.S. With the most being photographed being Strasburg, and then the Union Pacific and the Santa Fe. Those are the other ones that are the most photographed in terms of equipment. So there's that. which is actually pretty impressive when you think about it. So anyway, I'm just gonna take the sleeve off of it, and of course there it is. There she is, and we're gonna do that. What's number 4? Oh, I think number 4 was Canadian National. I think. I mean, I'm talking about North America in general, not like specifics, like super specific, but like you get what I mean. Anyway, also, I might be working on another project that involves the Texas State Railroad engine 610. So that's like a little fun thing. Let's see, did you know? Yes, I know there's a Lionel Scooby-Doo set. I hate it. And before everyone goes ape crap and say, oh, why do you hate it? It's so great. Why would you make something like that other than for purely marketing? Like, that's the thing, like, I've always found is that Scooby-Doo merchandise is kind of like far and few in between sometimes. Like, it's not something that's like boom like that you see toys of. Like, you see it on a lunchbox or on a t-shirt, but like you don't get a train of it. And I think it would have been better if they made it into a ghost train. That would have been really ingenious. But oh well, I'm not the head of Lionel. I'm no Joshua Lionel Cowan, so I can't do anything. All right, so I'm just gonna move this. I'm gonna swap cameras. So if everything goes dark, that's just the front camera. So I'm just gonna do. Oh my! It is. Hang on one second. There we go. All right, so we got Puffy sitting here. Now I'm running this on DC power, not DCC. So if it looks a little bit wonky and weird, that's why. But let me see. Okay, that's a little bit better, so you can actually see the sides, but now we're just gonna... Oh, here we go. There it goes. It's a very smooth operating engine, one of the smoothest I've ever seen when it comes to N scale, and you'll see why in a minute. I consider it smooth. And then, let's see, yep, there's the headlight, and I'm running this thing at one of... Let's see if I can get it down to its lowest. This is the lowest it will go, like... And it's just barely creeping along, but it's creeping along at a nice pace. That's like a scale 5 miles per hour. Sort of. And a little dead spot, and then of course, there it goes, past the little switchies. That's what I'm going to call these things from now on, switchies instead of switchers. Little switchy engine. And my drink of choice, LaCroix. And before Puffy runs off the rails, we're just going to switch direction. And it's going to crawl back. If you're wondering why it only goes from one end to another end, I do not have a full loop of N scale track. I only have I've got a lot of straights, but I don't have a lot of curves. Which is something you never hear any seasoned model railroaders say, because usually it's the opposite. They got too many curves and they want more straights, but we're going to run it back and forth a few more times. This time we're going to go a little bit faster. This is like maybe 15, 20 miles per hour in scale speed. So not super fast. Like, this would be like the average of what Puffy in real life could probably go at. Like that. Which is pretty good. And it's very quiet too. It doesn't have any sound. I wish it did, but I know what the soundboard for these little N-scale 10-wheelers sounds like, and it's not very good. Like, the sound is basically pushed out the back of the tender, so it doesn't really sound like it's coming from the engine. It sounds like there's a car behind it that's making all the noise. In reality, they should make the speaker push into the cab so it actually sounds like the engine is doing all the noises. Of course, we're just gonna go backwards now. Back and forth, yada, 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 yada. But yeah, making decals for this thing was an absolute nightmare, and there's a reason why this one is oversized. It's so that I can actually see it, because I can't see any of the other ones very well, at least not without glasses to really look at them. So, I have some N-scale 7 some. I don't use Bachmann N-scale. I use Kato. Oh, that's the thing. This is Bachmann N-scale track, and I'm going to say why I use it. It's just mainly, it's the cheapest, and it works. I mean, sometimes you got to clean it a little bit more than you'd want to, but it works. It does. Now I'm just going to turn this little light on, and let's see how this works. Well, actually, let me angle the light a little bit. Here we go. Let's see if we can get an level. Ooh, look at that. That looks nice. That is a very nice shot of Puffy. Yeah, we're just gonna back it up, back it up, back it up, and bring it forward again. Let's try and crawl. Let's see. Little. Yeah, it doesn't like going at slow speeds on this type of track. It's very, like that's the slowest it'll go smoothly at least. Even with DCC on, it doesn't really do that. And all that, so. Doing all that, so now we're going to do something fun. We're going to break the rules a little bit, and I'm going to back it up as far as possible, and then we're basically going to see how fast this sucker can go. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, that was quick. And again. And one more time. And now we're going to stop in the middle. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys want to make your own Puffy in N scale, just grab a regular old Bachmann 10-wheeler. If you want, you can go with the DCC version like what we have. Or you can go with a DC version, which is equally as good. Which is pretty good. So, that's pretty nice. But yeah, I think we're just going to look at it a little bit more. Just to appreciate the immense detail on it. I'm just going to zoom in to show you guys. You can actually see the builder's plate on the side if you, right there. And of course, there's the dynamo, and then there's the lantern. There's the stack. I painted the top of it just like it has in real life. It's got the gold boiler bands and everything. And all that. And of course, there's the little sticker it has. Let me pull the engine forward. Ooh, this is that's a decent looking shot. Let me zoom out just slightly. Just ooh. No. Okay, there we go. Here we go. This will do. Just wait for it to focus. And now let's bring it slowly forward. Just a bit. Right there. And of course we have the tender. Now I know the tender lining isn't on there, but I really did not want to do it at this point in time. It was just something that just did not want to do. Didn't want to do that and all that. So I took the coward's way out, or the easy way out, and doing all that. And there's the top of the tank for the oil tank and all that. Surprisingly enough, this engine actually has some very slight cab detail. And I'll show it really quick. Just by angling it enough. I hope this gets picked up on camera. You can see it in there. There we go. See, it's got a boiler backhead detail. So yeah. Another thing that's interesting, I didn't actually do this, but from the factory, this engine, the inside of the cab is painted green, which is prototypical to what Puffy's cab actually is. I do have some pictures of it's like a panorama pic of the inside of the cab. But yeah. And if anyone's wondering how I managed to get a nice clean paint lines, I took off the handrails first before doing all that, so that way none of the paint would just glob up on there. And I did multiple very thin coats, but I made sure that they wouldn't like overlap so much to where it would glob up. That was a slight problem with the roof. The roof kind of had that problem for a little bit, but then it went away. So, yeah. Yep. If I can get this to, yeah, there we go. The only thing I did not change on the engine, I guess, paint-wise or decal-wise, and this is on the very front of the engine, it said, instead of saying 2248, it says 2020, because that was the original number that this engine from the factory had. That is not prototypical, but here's the thing. At this size, it's almost impossible to tell. Like, you'd really have to, like, get some glasses on and look at that. So, yeah, we're just going to set Puffy off to the side, and we're going to run another engine. So just to encourage audience participation, Which one of the switchies do you want to see run? Do you want to see the Fort Worth and Western Diesel? Do you want to see the green 060, the black Prairie, or the red 060? Okay, everyone vote. 3, 2, 1, go. Whichever one has the most comments gets to run. So, yeah. Okay, so far we've got 1 vote for the red 060, and we got 2 votes for the diesel. So the diesel is in the lead, so we need some more votes. Come on, people. I know there's 6 of you watching this damn live stream, and you better comment. Okay, now we got 1 vote for the Prairie. Any more? Come on. Come on. And FWWR, I've been waiting to get one for my yard. I want to see how it runs. Okay, and the Fort Worth and Western Diesel wins for most votes. So we are going to place this little switchy on the track. So don't worry, we'll get to vote on who goes next after this. So this engine is incredibly smooth. In fact, I would say it runs a lot better than Puffy at slow speeds, mainly because this is geared for running at low speeds because it's a switch engine. It's not a big 10-wheeler. So yeah, let's see. This thing can crawl at like a scale 1 mile per hour. It is astounding. Like, hang on, I can do this. There we go. There it goes. Yep, just going on its way. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's being alive. And now he's getting to the crossing. We're gonna make him go forward. This thing does not have directional lighting like Puffy does, unfortunately. I wish it did. But as you can see, you get a really nice good look at the weathering, which is really nice. Oh, and Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you all had a great Christmas. So I'm just gonna stop the diesel really quick and just allow you to look at the detail that was put into it, or at least weathering wise, as you can see. Very, very nice. Yes, that is a Lionel 080 in the background. That was my first Lionel toy train. It has been repainted quite a bit, but that's how it looks right now. It does have the original running number on it, though. If it'll focus. 561. Pretty cool. Anyway, back to the diesel. Little switchy switch. Alright. Now, I'm going to make it go back again so we can see the front. And I'm just going to make him go a little bit further. And stop him about there. So yeah, you can really get a sense of how much weathering I put into this thing. I didn't want to go overboard like I did with another engine and all that. Oh wait, I was wrong. This thing has directional lighting. Look at that. The lights are popping on. I didn't even notice that. That is incredible. I am stupid. Anyway, the stacks have been weathered. The front grills and everything has been weathered. And I did this paint scheme is based off of the Jeep units that the FWWR has. So this paint scheme is actually accurate, but they did not have any NW2 switchers. I do hope to get an SD40-2 and maybe a Jeep unit at the train show. I'll just say this. All these engines, with the exception of the single switch engine, the green one, everything else was free, pretty much. All these engines I've gotten for free, essentially. So, you know, especially the DCC ones, these were all, these were donated. And yes, that is a legit livery. Albeit, it would probably say Fort Worth and Western in blue as like a blue line going across, but I couldn't get a proper replica of that logo, so I just went with the regular one that they have, that stock standard available, and it looks convincing enough. I mean, it's just a yard switcher. This thing is just going to stay in one part of a layout and not go anywhere else. So we're just going to, let me turn the light out, and let's see if we can see the light pop on. Ooh, that's nice. And there he goes. Yee. Hang on. Oh dear, my stream cut out for a second. Anyway, Yes, that is a real life livery, the blue and the yellow. It's quite interesting. Also, this is the Longhorn symbol that most Fourth and Western diesels have. So yeah. Um, while I would have had someone famous written on the side, I really couldn't think of anyone that would be appropriate. I originally thought of putting Johnny Cash on the side, but nah. Johnny Cash deserves better than just a stinky little switch engine. How long have you had this? About maybe a week, I would say. Like a week and a day, probably, is how long I've had, especially these two. So, also, these are the only engines that I have that have a knuckle coupler on them. And also, this little switch engine is not very strong. This thing is incredibly weak. Like, just to show you, I'm going to take this tender from the New York Central locomotive, and this does fit on N-scale track. It works very well. These would be like amazing little display engines, but I'm just going to show you. This thing actually has quite a hard time pushing a tender around. No, unfortunately, I do not have any rolling stock aside from this little thing, which is a custom made. This is actually made from a Lionel ornament, the Hallmark ornament, and it's been put on a chassis. Like, it doesn't even line up. Like, there's gaps in it and everything. But I like this because the wheels on my original one were broken off, so I just put this on a chassis so I could have more use for it. And it was already within the scale, so it works. But I'm just going to take that off, and I'm going to have this engine push this around because the coupler on this thing doesn't really attach very well. It's a Rapido style coupler, not a what's the word? It's not a Easy 2 coupler or Easy Era 2 coupler. So we're just gonna very, very carefully come in, and we're just gonna stop, and then yay, there we go. It's pushing it. It's pushing it. Very nice. It's gonna pass the other little switchies. So here we go. I'm gonna get a headlamp for this one eventually. Yeah, there they go. And now it's going to reverse. There he goes. It's very nice how quiet the motor is. It's absolutely amazing. Just going to let the camera focus on it. There we go. And now it's going to come back. Very, very nice. Have you seen the Lionel Hogwarts Express? Asks Sans. Yes. As a matter of fact, I own the coaches to it. This is one of my green ones. But I do own a Hogwarts Express set. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, but that's really just due to the fault of how it was manufactured. Mine just was not a good one. Anyway, let's get this little dude to push this car. Let's do that. Very nice. Now we're just gonna slow him down. Let's see, if you want to get some rolling stock, I can get you some. Take for free. Thanks, Lone Star Rail fan. I will consider it very much so. Let's see. Just gonna move the engine forward. How much the N-scale track, or how much N-scale track do you have? I have I think 5 or 6 curve pieces, and then I've got at least 12 straights. I know that because I've also, let me just show you guys. I have some extras right here in box, new in box. These have not been opened since I got them from Hobby Lobby. They still even have the price tag on them. This is 6 pieces of straight track, man, mind you, and look at the price. Price on this is $13.99. The price of this now is $14.95, and on other websites it goes for like $16. Just for three pieces or 6 pieces of track. That's ridiculous. But hey, that's just how the economy is, and it sucks. All right, so we're gonna run the little switchy a little more, little diesel switchy around, just a little bit more before we take it off and have the other ones run. Now we're just gonna do the ha-ha funny thing and go really fast, which I really shouldn't do with this engine because you can really hear it whine when it does that. Like, you can hear it. Oh, Luke, it's you. Okay, so for anyone who does not know, Lone Star Rail Fanning and I used to be in the same model railroad club together. That was the Lone Star High Railers. Unfortunately, I had to leave due to some disagreements with some of the higher-ups at the club. But don't worry, it wasn't like a sad thing or anything like that. But he and I, keep in contact sometimes. I still need to wish you a Merry... I'll do it right now. Merry Christmas, Luke. I hope you're having a great time, and I'll make sure that everything is set up. So, yeah. Anyway, we're just going to run this little switchy one more time back over here, and then we're going to vote on the next one to run. So, here he comes, and... doink. There we go. And that's it for the little diesel switcher. So now we're going to vote on these 3. So everyone, I want you to vote on which steam switchy you want to see run next. Like, we're going to do this one more time after one of these runs, because then after that it's just the single one and there's no need to vote on just one. What's your most recent customs besides N-scale terrains? Asks. That's weird. He doesn't have a name. Anyway, let's see. And yes, Luke, I definitely would like to. I'll give you a call sometime within the week. But I have not done any other N-scale or any other customs recently. Anyway, but I did do something though. But, okay, so we got 1 vote. Okay, we got 2 votes for the red switchy to run. We just need, let's see, there's 6, so let's see. Come on, people. I know there's 6 of you watching. You must vote in order to see which engine runs. I'm not just going to arbitrarily choose, even though I could. I'm not. Mainly because I'm too dang lazy. Funny. But, yeah. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering which engine I used for the Puffy, this was the serial number that it came with. Item 51461 N scale Baldwin 460 Baltimore, Ohio, engine 2020 with DCC installed. So, for those wondering. Alrighty, so right now, let's see. Okay, so the red one has been voted for the most. Prairie was coming in at a close second, so we might run that one after. But anyway, let's get the red one out. And I really liked how this one came out. This one came out very nice. Especially the gold on the sides and the number plate and everything. It's very nice. So we're just going to put this right here. Do that. Hopefully the wheels will stay on it. The wheels on this engine kind of just peter out after a little while. And also this engine, like all of these engines make a horrible clicking noise when they run, but it's something that I can't really do anything about. And they do not run very slowly. These things run very quick. Come on, little dude, you can do it. I know you can. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this one does not like running very much. It's very clicky. And he's stuck. Hang on one second, let me give him a little jitter. And we'll run him again. Oop, wrong direction. Ah, come on. And come on. And come on. Come on, I know you can run. Oh, there he goes. Come on. I'm going to switch him around really quick. Just turn him around like this. Like so. There we go. Now you all can... I'm just going to give you a minute to look at him in its full glory. And yes, it's a Santa Fe engine. And before you ask, yes, all these engines are hand-painted. None of these were sprayed. These were all hand-painted, especially the little whistle on there. As you can see. And of course there's the valve gear, which is really nice. One of the few that actually has the valve gear mostly intact. The front wheel of your tender's off. Yeah, that happens sometimes with these little engines. They just kind of fly off. Then now we're going to run him forward. Whee! Ha 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 ha. But yeah, I kind of like to think of that clinking noise as it chuffing around. You know, use your imagination. It's fun. There we go. There we go. So yeah. Also, this engine gives off a very strong ozone smell when it runs, so I don't like running it for very long. But yeah, this is just a stock standard Bachmann 060. You can get them pretty cheaply and all that. I might get another, well, I have another motor for this one. It has red wheels, but I might give it a cow catcher at the front. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to get a diamond stack on this sucker because of all that. Also, if you notice, there's no main connecting rod that goes to all 6 wheels. If I can get it to go on it better. Oop. Let's see. There we go. As you can see, there's no rod on that wheel. There's no rod on that one, but there is one on this one that goes to the main piston. That's because whenever this engine would run, the wheels would just get stuck in an awkward position and they would not come undone unless you took the wheels off. So I had to pop them off and then get rid of the big side rod piece that was on there. But the engines still work. They work perfectly without them. In fact, I'd say they work a lot better without them. So that way, they do that. Oh, let's see. 4070 says that he got a Conrail diesel for Christmas. Ooh, better not say Conrail around here. There's one guy I know of who's a Conrail nut, and he will go absolutely ballistic if you have anything Conrail. I mean, in a good way. I'm poking fun at him. But yeah. Also, there's the tender. You can see that. That little bit at the bottom was painted, and so was the top of the tender. And also the back, the steps, and a little chunk at the top were painted red to match the engine, which is a nice metallic finish red, which is fairly similar to what Puffy has, at least the finish. However, I don't know why, but the paint that's on Puffy, it's better than the one on here, and yet they're both I think the same, they come from the same manufacturer. Anyway, but yeah, let's just get this little guy. We're gonna run him a little more, and then after that we're gonna vote on who goes next. That's about the slowest this thing will run, and it'll probably stop and get stuck somewhere along the way. See, it did. You just gotta give it a bit of a mess with it a little bit, and there he goes. And one more time forward. I think. Yeah. But suffice to say, these things will look really nice running on a proper N-scale layout. So we're going to take this little switchy off and put them off to the side. Now, for the last two. So, this is the last time we're going to do a vote, because after that, it's just going to be one of them. So, you know, no real big point in voting on just one. So, cast your vote in the comments as to which one should run, the prairie or the green one. So, I'm going to wait for you guys to cast your ballot votes. Alrighty, so someone wants a 282, so I'm guessing that's prairie, if that's what they're meaning. Yep. Let's see. So we got one vote for green, two votes for the prairie. Let's see. And there's 7 of you watching. I know more of you can cast a vote. I know that for a fact. Come on. I know you can. Oh, we got 3 for prairie. We got 3 and 1 for green. So if one more person votes, then I'll call it. So let's see. Come on. We got one more person to do so. I think they're shy, says Texas Trainmaster. I don't know. And one more vote. Yep, the prairie gets to go next. And this one actually gets to pull a piece of rolling stock with it, because the prairie is a Union Pacific engine. So, yay! Now, if only I could figure out how to get this thing on here. What's funny is when I got this from the train store, the guy that gave it to me, he's like, oh yeah, I can't figure out how to get this thing to run because the wheels keep flying off of it. And yet, here they are, running brand new. It's a good thing I offer my own locomotive repair services. Hang on, let me get this thing on the track proper. There we go. Got it on there. Might take a little while. Not to worry. Got it on there. There he is. And now we're going to put this behind him. And we're going to... Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. Let's try it now. And the tender came off. Oh. Doink. There we go. Now they're coupled. Alright, let's go. This one definitely runs a little bit better than the others. Except he does not like going in reverse. Just at all, for some reason. Oop! There he goes, very quick. So I'm just gonna see if I can get this angled right so that you guys can actually see it moving. Come on. Oop! There we go. Do you have more N-scale train cars? No, I do not, unfortunately. I do not have very many. I have a lot of locomotives, but I do not have a lot of cars, which is something I will focus on in the future because I've got more than enough engines now. Now I need some cars. You can never have too many cars, but you can always have too many trains. That's how the saying goes, I think. Yeah. Here he goes. Come on. Don't die on me now, Smalls. Come on. This is getting a bit finicky. Don't know why. Oop, there he goes. Little jumpy fella. Okay. I know what this is reminding me of. So there's a type of beetle, for anyone who doesn't know. There's a beetle called a clicking beetle, and what it'll do, it's like the size of your index finger, basically, and it's this little beetle, and if you flip him on his back, it'll pop its head, and it'll go, and it'll be right back up again. Just look it up, clicking beetle. That's what this is reminding me of, because every time I try to make a move, it'll stop, and then it'll shoot off from me, so. There he goes. Now to come back. Now to come back. Thank you. Let's try this again. goes. There he's going, he's going, he's going, he's going. He's going, he's going. Uh-oh. And he's gone. What, you thought I was going to let it crash? No way. I'm not that bad to my models. Alright. And I think that's about it for the prairie, so I'm going to just, let me move him out of the way. I'm going to let you guys look at the prairie one more time as in the light, like so that you can like get a good look at it. Like this. There we go. Very nice. Got the Rapido coupler at the front though. Yeah. Very nice. And of course there's the valve gear and tender, Union Pacific. And then there's the little car, and watch this. It can open. How small are they compared to powertrains? I would say this is like right in the ballpark of how big powertrains are. Here's the thing. These engines are more squat. Powertrains are a lot longer. Like basically this would be like the size of a powertrain compared to it. So, yeah. Just gonna run that off there. Now we're just gonna take this one off. Gonna put him off to the side with his little car. And we're gonna run the green one! This is the one that I got in that set. So, yeah, this one used to be basically the same as the red one. It was black and it had the same 3283 number, except I actually still had the tender shell from that one, but it's broken and I painted it red on the top. But yeah, this one, I like this one. It's missing the coupler at the front, but I'll probably get that replaced eventually, but yeah. I don't know why, but like, so in person this is a nice green, but on camera this comes up as more like a turquoise sort of green. Don't know why. But yeah, let me put him on track, like so. Now, after I get this one running, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the 060s together and make one big train. It won't really move very much, but it'll be something. Here it goes. There we go. This one definitely has a nicer motor to it. It doesn't like click as much, but it does work. It's like a bump and go trolley. Once that's to one end, it goes to the other. Let's see. Looks like a cow down there. And let's get it back over here. Oh no, the tender derailed. Oh no, what are we gonna do about that? What are we gonna do about that? Oh no, here comes the Hudson. Big train wreck. Alright, I'm gonna put that back. Don't worry. This engine is, it doesn't have to be connected to its tender to work, so there's no big scare with that. So now, as promised, I'm gonna get the big Twain set up. Let's get this done up, if I can get it all on the dang track. Hang on, I might need both hands for this. And there we go. Now let me just check to make sure he runs. Let's see. There we go. And there we go. Now I'm going to move him forward just a bit. Now we're going to get the UP engine on there. And now put him on like this. if I can get it. Like so. Now we got it. Now let's just couple them up like that. Just to check to see if they run together. There they go. They actually work together when they both go slow because they'll pull one another. That is, if they... Yeah, see, like he's not working, but he is. Look at that wheel slip. And now he stopped working. Oh dear. Hang on, let's just get this like that, and I'll back it up. Oh dear, didn't quite go. Now let's get the red one on back. Doink, like that. Okay, I think I've got all of them on the rails, more or less. Let it rest. Anyway, now let's back it up. Oop, wrong direction. Come on, I know you all can do it. There we go. Almost. They almost. Come on. Oh, come on. I don't get it. Off camera, this thing worked, like this entire little cavalcade worked perfectly. And to answer your question, how is the O-Gauge collection? It's dwindling, thankfully, because I do not have room for O-Scale anymore. I can't really do anything with it productively. So most of it's going to be donated to my own model railroad club, and I'm just going into N-Scale for the most part. And let's see. All right, on 3, 2, 1, and go. Hey, they're doing it. They're doing it. And they've done it. There we go. And before everyone starts saying it, I did have all the wheels on, so it worked. It all worked beautifully for the most part. Now to... Oh dear. Oh, there they are. Go. There they go. So yeah, very nice. You know, I might actually give this one a silver front, like just the front of the smoke box being silver. Because I'm beginning to realize, I think I subconsciously based this off of the TSR's number 300, the paint scheme wise. So I'm just going to put this little dude over here. Ooh, there we go. Got him right there. Yeah, these engines are a bit annoying to... Basically, if you want to get into N-Scale, first thing you do, buy a bunch of spare pieces and parts of all the engines you're wanting to buy, so that way if you break something, you can just swap it out immediately. Because that's the thing I ran into for the most part. So I basically had like a bunch of broken up 060 parts lying around, and half of them required those parts to work. And now, because I know some people are wondering if I can do it, yes, I will get the Diesel and Puffy to run. So I'm just going to put both of them on right now. And all of that. Ooh, come on, get that on there. There we go. So now we're just going to couple them up. If it'll work. Come on. There we go, got it. Alright, now let's get these little dudes running. And here we go. There they go. Look at them run. Will you get more diesels, says blank. Yes, I will. I do intend to get more diesels because, I'll say this. DC diesels work a lot better because they're more versatile, and the DCC steam engines just work a lot nicer. They're smoother than the DC steam engines that I have. So, just gonna zoom in, move this out of the way, focus on that. Okay, now here's something cool. We're gonna make it look like oh, look, you can see that the diesel is trying to pull the steam engine. So, come on. Come on, Puffy, you can do it. You can let it do it, that thing. Alright, there we go. So. It wasn't that a cool shot. Now let's get another one. Let's get it being pulled out over here. Oh yeah, and then there's the one detail that's hand painted on Puffy proper, and that is the 2248 at the back of the tender. So now we're gonna back the engine up like that. Boy, this is bringing back some memories of 2013 when they were putting Puffy away. Isn't it interesting? And then one more time, but this time we're going to zoom out and look above, and there they go. Also, one person saying, why don't I put Puffy at the front? Well, that's because Puffy, the model Puffy's faster than the diesel engine. And you generally want to put the slower engine up front, so that way it caters to the back engine. So that you're not causing too much coupler drag. Uh-oh, Puffy's not wanting to go very much. There we go. Very cool. Alright, well I'm just gonna stop him right there. Take you off. Move them just a little bit to the side, a little bit more. Let me flip Puffy around so that we can all see it. And there we go. Those are all the engines that I've got, in N scale at least. It's a very fun little thing. Doink. Sorry, I was just getting a screenshot of that, because that's a cool little picture of all the engines. One train, two train, red train, blue train. Funny. Alright, so that's it for the running session. So, let's all say goodbye to the trains, but don't worry, the stream's going to keep on going for a little while. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to put this over here. Don't worry, you haven't gone blind. I just need to switch the camera back over. There we go. Get that out of the way. Alrighty. I think we've done a pretty good job. Just gonna unplug a few things. There we go. Now I'm just gonna box the engines back up. Or at least the important ones. So, we're gonna put Puffy back. And yes, Puffy has its own little box. And there's the, let me show you guys this. This was the extra decal sheet I made in case they got ruined. And the tender logos have been sized down considerably to be more prototypical with the real life engine. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So anyone got any New Year's resolutions? I've got a pretty good one. Mine is to be happier. That's my New Year's resolution. Alright, we're just gonna put this in here, like so. Nice and protective. And then put this in here. Like so. I didn't squish that, did I? Nope. Alright, and get the box mat on. There we go. Got Puffy back in its little box. So yeah. It's a fun little engine to run around. Let's see. Mine's to work on my O-gauge layout more, says Swagman. Great username, by the way. Very hilarious, Swagman. I'm going to box up the little NW switcher. Take this out and put this little dude in. So one last look at the switcher before I put him away. Blink. If I can run this thing on someone else's layout that has a proper N-scale switch yard, I'll get some picture of this little dude out on it for all of you to enjoy. go. I'm just gonna put him away. Put it away. Uh-oh. Just occurred to me, I didn't put this back in the box with the 0-30 engine. I should probably do that. Don't worry, no harm done. There we go, got it back boxed up. And yeah. Also, let me show you guys this. This is the keepsake ornament that they came out with this year. It was a Lionel Scout, as they call it. It's the Scout, but that's not our version of the Scout that we know of. So here is, hang on, what is Lone Star? Is to get more engines. I've already seen a big boy. My next mention got, ah, yes, 611, very nice. Anyway, this is the engine. This is the little Scout. And there's the side rods. They actually move and everything, which is really nice. Now, funny enough, this version that they're making, the 110, is made entirely out of plastic. And I have owned 2 of the 110 engines. Well, actually, I take that back. I've had one. A second one was lended to me for detailing purposes. But these things are both incredibly light. But this ornament weighs more than the actual model it's based off of. And I can attest to that by doing this. Yep, very heavy. It's made out of die cast. It's not. It would have been hilarious if they actually made this one out of plastic fully, just like the real one. But it's better. It's better to have it be made out of metal. So yeah, this actually can run on Powertrain's track too. It works very nicely. So there's that. Let me wrap them back up. Yeah, it's the first train ornament I have collected, because usually I got them as gifts, but this is one of the few that I've actually bought with my own money. Hopefully I'll find a turbine online, because I want to buy one of those, because those look sick. They are cool. Very cool. And all that. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Wow. Says Pokebreak. Do you have the Marks version of that? Excuse me. So the person who has the blank username, please exfoliate on that answer of do I have the Marks version of what? Are you referring to the Scout? Because if so, I used to have the Marks 400s. Those were like the cheapest things that Marks ever made. They were really nasty. They only go in one direction, and they came in like a multitude of varieties. But I had 2 of them, and one of them got sold in a set because it was part of that set, and the other one I put on, and I did this. This is an incredibly stupid thing to do. Don't do this at home, please. I went over to, because I live right next door to train tracks, and I went over to the crossing and I placed it on the crossing bit, the little tiny train on the track, and train came by and ran it over. And I kept a piece of it. I don't know what I did with the piece. It's buried in a box, but it's the only Marks train to be run over by a train. So yeah, that's what I did. So, but I do have this. I have 2 Marks engines. This one right here. This is a Mark 666. This is what they normally look like. So I got that, and this is just a Lionel tender. These would probably have come with like a tender, maybe one of these, that's a Marks tender, by the way, a tin plate tender. But yeah, these big old things. This sucker is heavy. They were called War Babies, I think, because these were made from like 1948 through 1950s. Yeah, through like the 1950s-ish. Because they came out with the 1666, which is basically same motor, same chassis, except it's plastic. The shell is. This thing is hard metal. It is metal. So, yeah. But there's that one, and I know I've got another version I did of this one, which is this. I did this custom a long while ago, but this one is painted. It's painted silver here and here at the front and on the running board, and it's got cobalt blue on it. and a red roof and a red cow catcher with stars on it. Pretty nice. I thought it looked really nice. This is the same paint that I used for the N scale Puffy. It's the same blue that I used for it. Pretty nice. So yeah, it's very, very good. I'm thinking about selling it. Also, there's a bit of gold on the dome and right there on the horn and all that. So there's that. Hey James, do you have an extra engine for that tender? Are you talking about this one, right? This tender? Because this one I don't have a use for because it doesn't have a back coupling. The back coupling on it is missing. And someone was saying, selling, why? Because one of these can get me like 5 of these suckers or 6 of these. That's why I'm selling it. Not to mention, I just don't have a space to run these. And I'm the kind of collector where if I have something, I use it. I don't just let it sit up on a shelf and collect, stuff like that. So there's that. But that's me. And all that. So yeah. I'm gonna put this big dude back. I'm gonna put it back. Gonna put it back and do stuff and whatnot. Also, I've got this powertrain set with a custom painted locomotive. It's in Union Pacific colors. This is going to be given as a gift to one of my friends. I'm not going to say who, but they might know who they are. It's just a little gag gift, so they will enjoy this. It's a full set. It's basically this set, and then it's got an extra add-on set on the inside of it, just with a extra pack, like freight cars and whatnot. So, yes, very, very much a lot of fun. Let's say, the next owner knows part of the story to whomst made it. Yes, I always love when people know that I've made stuff. I have sold quite a few things, and I know one person tried to be all like, oh my god, I'm going to buy it and like sell it off on eBay and make a bunch of money off of it. And I'm just kind of like, well, not a lot of people really know who I am. I mean, in the train community, yeah, a lot of people know me. A lot of people know me in the Thomas community, which, just FYI, I am trying to get out of the Thomas community at the moment because I have not been having a great time at this moment. So, and that's just due to harassment. A lot of people would be surprised by that, but there's a lot of people that still think I'm an immature moron who argues with 10-year-olds, which makes no sense in any context. And there's a lot of people that try to bring it back up. And they're like, hey, do you remember when you did that? Hey, do you know when you did that? Oh my God, you're a terrible person for doing that. And it's like, that was way back in like 2015, like 5, almost 6 years ago. Stuff like that, or 2014 for that matter. And it still boggles my mind that people would still do that, would still hold a grudge to that, which kind of makes no sense, in my mind at least. Which is why I am slowly kind of delaminating myself from the Thomas community. I don't even watch the show anymore. I don't buy any Thomas-related stuff anymore. And I don't make Thomas content anymore either, so there's that. And that's just me. That's my choice. But hey, I still make train content. That's my main thing. That has always been my main thing, and it's something that I love to do. Not to mention, I already fulfilled my childhood dream of driving Thomas. I mean, I drove a dummy unit of him, but still I got to do that. So I'm content. I am incredibly content with all that. But I was impressed when the guys over at the Thomas props, those guys, I'm trying to remember, but the guys who have the narrow gauge props, They have the original season one James model. They actually found it. They've restored it completely, and it looks outstanding. I think it's going to be at the Greenberg Model Train Show. I think. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea, but I know that's going to be in a train show somewhere in the Northeast and all that. And yes, answering Lone Star Rail fanning, I did drive the one in Grapevine. In fact, I have the picture. Well, I wasn't on the train when I took this picture. This was after the fact, but it was taken same day. Shortly before, I actually joined that club I mentioned earlier, the Lone Star High Railers. It was a good club. I loved being there. I loved the layout. It was amazingly fun. But just, hey, I didn't agree with what some of the people were doing, and that was it. But for anyone wondering of how I got to do this, it was a case of mix-up. And basically what happened, so this was when I was working with a different museum, Museum of American Railroading. Go and see their museum. It's really cool, especially the Traintopia bit. They're located here in Frisco, so really nice. And if you see or meet a lady named Sherry, tell her I said hi. So there's that. But anyway, as I was saying, so essentially, I was working with that organization, and they told me, "Oh yeah, be there and all that." And I said, "Oh, is there anything I should wear in specific?" And they're like, "Wear stuff that's train themed, but don't worry about a T-shirt because we'll give you one," which I still have to this day. It's my best souvenir. But anyway, so what ended up happening? I dressed up in overalls. I had the hat. I had my son, and I had the little um, ascot or handkerchief thing, and I had my gloves and everything. And I step off the bus as I got in the Grapevine Square, and immediately there's like three guys that come up to me and they're like, "Hey, are you working with the museum?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, so you're gonna drive the train?" And immediately my eyes widen. I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "The Thomas unit." And there was a guy that was there. I can't remember if he was German or Italian. I forget, but he was a small dude, small short dude, really nice. But he was like, "Okay, you get in the cab. This is the control. This is what you do. Okay, bye." And he was with me, and he had the radio and everything. And I'm just kind of there, like, on the inside, I'm absolutely losing it because I'm like, I'm driving Thomas the freaking tank engine, yeah. But on the outside, I'm as cool as a cucumber, trying to maintain some sort of professionalism. And we went back and forth one round, and I got off, and immediately I see the guy I was supposed to be with, and his name was Bob Palka. And the guys were like, "Oh yeah, who's your boss?" I'm like, "Bob," and then they go, "Which Bob?" Which was the big uh-oh moment because I didn't know which Bob they meant. I was like, "That's the guy, the big dude, Bob Palka." And they're like, "Oh, we thought you meant Bob Laprelle." So that was a big oopsie doodle. And after that, I just ferried people to and fro the train for the rest of the event before I joined the Model Railroad Club that was there. That was showing off stuff because it was cool, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I've got Thomas trains." And speaking of, this model used to be my model of Henry before I got that Atlantic version of him. But yeah, this used to be that model. And there's still video footage of it up online. But this is the picture of me. I took this the same day. There I am. I don't have a beard. I look so naked without one. But yeah, there's Thomas and all that. And of course, all the employees thought it was hysterical, but all the people that were in charge had a massive headache about it, which was actually pretty funny. Um, but yeah, but that was the only time I ever worked at a Dad with Thomas event, and it was completely amazingly worth it. It was so much fun and all that. So you know, it was better than what I'd ever wanted. Got more than I bargained for. I wasn't even expecting to drive Thomas. So, yeah. Let's see. You look better without one. I like my beard. I like it. Although I don't like having a mustache. It tickles me too much. And whenever I drink, the it doesn't go in my mouth. It just goes everywhere else, and it just annoys the ever loving crap out of me. But yeah. Oh hey, It's Taylor Kennedy. He's the guy that edits the majority of my videos. So if you can, go and give his videos a like, share, and whatnot. Really nice guy. Also, we used to do streams together, but unfortunately, due to how YouTube is, we can't use Hangouts to do that anymore, unfortunately. So there's that. But yeah, I hope you guys liked watching. If you guys still have any questions, you can still send them. Just wait a minute. What time is it right now? I've got my watch with me. Come on. Oh, I didn't realize it was that late. We'll go on for another like 15 minutes, and then we'll call it quits, because it's getting late. Let's see, you didn't read any of my comments while you read some, but you quit reading them. Oh, well, I can't read all of your comments. Can't read everybody's. You know, there's some selectiveness to it. Here's the thing. If I tried to read everyone's comments, I'd be here all day. And I'm looking for questions, stuff like that. And usually, if you say like more than one thing within a row, I'm generally not going to try and do that. So, yeah. But that's me. Let's see. You look like Abraham Lincoln. I do have a top hat too, so I can pull off that look. Have you seen Lionelville? No, I have not, and I don't intend to. It's just, it doesn't look very good. You know, it's cheap CGI. Not really great. And also, they gave the Hudson 2 smokestacks. It never had 2 smokestacks. It's really dumb. I still remember the video of you dancing on the cab of a locomotive. That is still up, by the way, I think. And what do you think Joshua Leno Collin would think of his company if he was still living? He'd probably be very impressed, but at the same time, he would probably be very sad to see that nothing is made in America anymore. Actually, 3 stacks. Oh my god, the thing had 3 smokestacks. Good god, that is the... Yeah. Yeah. And all that. So just, keep sending questions, and we'll answer a few of them. Are you planning on building a permanent N-scale layout in the future? I am getting one. It's being donated by the same guy that gave me the DCC stuff and all that. Let's see. And yeah, do you feel like talking about the commercial I made recently? Oh, that was made for a place called Angela Hobbies that I go to. That's where I got these 2 engines from. The Prairie and the Red 060. That's where I got those from. And I got them from a guy named Les. He's very nice. Les Phi. He's really cool. And I traded him, because I gave him a HO scale version of this thing, basically. It was a cattle car carrier. Do you ever plan to get back into O scale? Maybe, if I have a big enough space. But I'm not getting rid of all of my trains. I'm just getting rid of majority of them, because I can't really use them. I don't have a use for them, so I'm just not going to use. It's not worth just packaging them up only to have them sit somewhere. Because I like using everything I have. I generally go through a lot of things a lot, like item-wise, rotating and all that. And no, we're not answering that question. Not that one. Anyway, wait, what's this? Friend Gerald. Yeah, that's who gave me these things, is Gerald. He's also giving us. When I say us, I'm referring to me and Texas Trainmaster. He's the other guy that's helping me with this. So, also, for anyone wondering what Taylor is meaning by that statement, that's a Thomas and O'Gage joke, or a reference to it, and all that. So there's that. Anyway, so that's what I've got mainly going on, and hopefully, I'll be able to model the rest of the Grapevine Vintage Railroad equipment. I do want to model Vinny, and I do want to model the two FL9s that are there now, and all that. Let's see. Of course, they got that wrong. Very. Yeah. James, do you have a Discord? I do have a Discord. In fact, I have a specific server for Discord. I call it the anarchy server because no one is in charge and you can pretty much almost do whatever you want within reason. I'll probably post a link to it in the description. And it's just, you do whatever you want within reason. Just don't go there to be a dick, basically. That's the main thing. Just don't be rude on purpose, and all that. Will you bring back the G Scale Funny series? I never had a G Scale series. Never did that. I had O Scale and I did Thomas and O Gauge, but I will never be able to bring that back up because of what YouTube's doing. Because with the FTC laws, because YouTube's basically being lazy about it. Because there's a section it's like, oh yeah, it's meant for all audiences and all that, but YouTube has not installed that. They only have either for kids or not for kids and all of that. And if you really do want it weathered, Texas Trainmaster, I'll weather the Porter for you, and all that. So anyway, but essentially I can't bring Thomas No Gauge back up because it's too much for what they have. It breaks a lot of guidelines. So unfortunately I can't do that. But if there's another video sharing website that's close to YouTube that doesn't involve giving away all your personal information, which a lot of them do for some scary reason, I'll probably post it on there and have everyone go nuts with it. Or maybe if I ever even have a Facebook, I'll put them up on Facebook or something stupid like that. I mean, even then, I really don't like Facebook. Not my thing. I prefer Twitter, and even then, that's something annoying because you got our current president using Twitter, and I'll get this. I mean, granted, the media has a tendency to filter out what he's saying with something that's stupid, but at the same time, he does say some stupid things unfiltered on Twitter, which kind of, drives home the point. But that's all I'm going to say on that. Let's see. It's a community-based platform that has 2,000K members. There's Flair. I'll have to check that out. Question. Oh, who's Joe? Joe Mama. I know that joke. I'm not stupid. Oh, man. That is some good LaCroix. So, yeah, let's see here. I got a Williams diesel. Oh, what version? What diesel did you get? There's not a lot of train or competition, so the market is open. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Blair. I think I may have heard of it, though. Maybe. Also, another thing that I'm planning on doing, I'm going to try and get a special pocket watch that actually has the Transcontinental Railroad trains on it. I know they sold it at Promontory Point, Utah, because I wanted to buy one, but I didn't have any money, and they were like $26. But I want to get one of those. And then on the chain, it's got I have a quarter of this, and it's on a chain already, and it's got the two engines meeting, and then I've got a keychain of both 119 and Jupiter, and make just a special watch chain and everything for that, because that'd be really cool. Williams, I've never heard anything about good anything. They break all the time. They're not reliable. I wouldn't say that. In the right hands, Williams locomotives can actually last a long time, and they're actually pretty good. The only thing that I would say isn't very great is some of the construction of some of the engines, especially the Pacifics that they came out with, that are based off of the Mark's 333 engine. Because those run off of a DC board that gets reconverted back to AC and blah, 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 blah. And it just does not work. Anyway, let's see here. Around October, went to a local car show and got a K-Line heavy hauler set for $50. That's a good deal. That's a pretty good deal. Let's see. Also, do you still have that one Mark's engine? If so, where is it currently? I don't know which one you're referring to, but yeah. Let's see. We got like about 7 more minutes before I close out for the night and all that. Never buy from Hellion Models. I heard they suck. I don't know who those are, so I can't really say anything on that. Yeah. But yeah, I really love how this little sucker turned out. Probably this and the red one are my favorite engines that I've painted so far. I mean, Puffy's good. Like that one was complete, but like this is one that I love looking at. You know, I'm like, ooh yeah, that's good. That's great. You know, just something like that. Train. Also, for some reason, YouTube thinks that model trains are specifically for kids. I'll say this. Toy trains are for kids. Model trains, that's different. That's toys for adults, which are different because they're breakable and they cost a lot more for less. That didn't make any sense. You'll know what I mean. You should make another live stream tomorrow. I don't think I will. Have you ever thought doing on the 100th anniversary of Mark's Toy Co? Not really. Just because, oh well, that's just, uh, the one I got you. Oh, that one, that Mark's. I still have that one. So for anyone wondering, the Mark's engine that Taylor got me is a Mark's 898 locomotive. I have an 897 as well. That's another version of it, but I still have that one, and it's in my tin plate collection, which I guard fervently, except for this tender, because this is just an extra that I have lying around, and it doesn't connect to anything, and it's meant for a motorized engine, not a clockwork engine and all that. I mean, that's the main, I guess, O-scale stuff that I collect is the clockwork trains. Have you thought about doing a gaming channel? No, not really. I just don't have the equipment for that, and also I don't have the time for that. My phone buzzed. I wonder who that could be. Wow, dude, that's fancier than mine. If you're meaning pocket watch, yeah, this one is very nice. Anyway, let's see. Why are your phones so old? Oh no, this thing. It's a flip phone. It's an LG flip phone. You can buy these for like $25, and you just put like $30 on it per month. Very cheap, very nice. You can call, you can text, you can take photos, you can take video. It's good. I mean, but like, I don't need it to be a handheld computer though. And yes, I have it set to vibrate because I don't like the noise it usually makes. Because the speaker quality is garbage. The record. Oh, that's what he meant. The record player. I got a record player for Christmas, by the way, and I got two records to go with it. One of them is "What's My Name" by Ringo Starr, and the other one is the Beatles' Revolver album. Really nice. Anyway, what was I saying? FTC said another statement that they stand under. That there's three different categories between. So YouTube is the they're greedy and want money from their creators. Yes. FTC don't make the rules. James makes the rules. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, YouTube really needs to fix their stuff because it's not great. It's not great. What's going on right now? It's just terrible. Especially, YouTube is incredibly harsh towards animators, which is something I find very appalling because I myself, at one point, I studied to do animation and I did a lot of video editing stuff myself. Heck, I was even on my school's newscast, which was absolutely terrifying, just to say the least, because I mean, I would do stuff, but like no one would take it seriously except me, so I'm just there like, yeah, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Meanwhile, everyone's dicking around in the background. And it's just nuts. Hey, we got 10 people watching. Yes. Too bad it's almost the end of the stream. Oh no, it's gone to 9. Oh no, is it going to go down to 8? Oh boy, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And yeah. By the way, Vinny got repainted. Yes, I know Vinny got repainted. I have pictures of him. Because I plan on modeling him. Also, you should make another series. It says something blue. No. Just no more series. I don't like doing them. They're just, I mean, unless it's something that's easy, because I've just got a different lifestyle now. Not to mention, I'm not as enthused to do videos anymore, like to the elaborate extent I used to do. I used to have a lot of patience for it. But now I don't, because I've got other stuff that I'm worrying about and doing all that. Also, my voice is getting very hoarse from talking so much. Good God. Yeah. Have you ever been to Salud Grade? I have no idea what that is. Also, it's pretty unfortunate that YouTube's stupidity level has gotten where it is nowadays, yes. It's not that they're lazy, they put off regulating content in favor of advertisers to kids. Yeah, that is pretty much what YouTube does. In my opinion, the day that YouTube got sold to Google is the day things got worse. Also, we should bring back, instead of having a like system, it needs to have a star system again. I like that idea. Do you think YouTube needs to stop and think? Yes, it does. It definitely does. Carvin Allen Blue, you know how to pronounce my name. I'm just not going to pronounce it because I'm too lazy. Oh, yeah. And some people are wondering if I ran out of content when it came to Herb's Hot Box of Railroad Slang. Let me just show you this. So 1 month of railroad words is about this much. Wait a minute. Oh, balls. No! Oh, no, wait, never mind. That's not it. This is how much it is. So, you see where that ticket sticks out? Basically, from the top to the ticket, that's 30 days. It would take another 2 months for me to complete this. So, also, let's see. Some people let parents let a phone dictate their children. Yes, that is a very common thing I'm seeing now. Is kids that are just on their phone like that at a very young age. Like, I didn't get my first phone till I was 16. And my sister got hers when she was 12, and she's been glued to hers like a maniac. Me, on the other hand, I just needed a phone because I needed something to call and text with, because people can be stupid and traffic is a bitch. So, that's the main reason. It sucks. But hey, things get better. Also, I just realized, Christmas colors. Doink. Yeah. I'm an American, and I'm most British. Parents need to pay. Yeah. Yeah. One thing though, I always find funny because I went to a Chinese restaurant not too long ago to eat, and there were at least 2 tables of these families, like families of one of 4 and one of 3, and both of them had like their little kids on these massive iPads. Like, come on. Interact with your kid. And these weren't even quiet either. It was going, yeah, like I could hear what they were listening to. And it was incredibly annoying because I'm just sitting there trying to, eat my Kung Pao chicken, and it's just like, can you turn that off? That kind of junk. Oh, well. Yeah, there is an app called YouTube Kids. It's just YouTube doesn't put any effort into it. Let's see, might get rid of ads. Ooh. If they get rid of ads, that's a good thing. However, won't be a really good thing for content creators, unfortunately. Parents don't know how to raise their kids. Yeah, kind of sucks. Yeah, let me check one last thing. Hold a phone. How in the hay could that be? It's 12:07. Oh, balls. All right. There we go. All right. Well, I think the stream has gone on long enough. Not to mention, we're just ranting about uh, parents and their kids. Oh, well. It's not something we can change. Although we can change how we raise our children in the future. But most people don't want to do change because they feel. Here's the main thing I've learned: people don't want to do change because they don't feel that their change would affect anything. Don't doubt yourself in that, ever. Anyway, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. There will be a New Year's live stream, I promise that. But no alcohol shall be involved because I ain't stupid, and neither are you. Don't drink and drive. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas and have a great night with your friends, your family, or if you're like me, at home, alone, in a box that is called a room. Alright, I'll see you guys later, and bye for the next one.